Hey everyone, welcome back to TNP Travel. Well, we did it. We came back from an amazing 6-night Christmas cruise on Vigin Voyages Valiant Lady, and wow, what a great time we had. This was our first time sailing with Virgin, and let me tell you, it's not your typical cruise. From the adults-only vibe to incredible food that's all included in your cruise fare at multiple venues, and amazing Caribbean views and ports. We had such a blast. Oh, and did I mention it was during Christmas? Well, this totally added a whole new level of festive fun. If you're curious about what makes Virgin Voyages different or just want to see what it's like to spend the holidays at sea, stick around. We'll be sharing all our favorite moments, some surprises we didn't see coming, and a few tips for first-timers like us. Let's start off with the cabin that would be our home for the 6 nights. We had a standard balcony cabin. The room is designed with a modern, sleek aesthetic, clever lighting that makes it feel both cozy and stylish. For a standard cabin, it's really well thought through. The bed is a convertible queen, and what's unique is that during the day, it can be set up as a lounger. However, we chose to keep it as a bed for the entire duration of our trip. We both found the bed super comfy, and we're also really pleased that they had an electrical outlet and 2 USB ports on either side, and that is a US electrical port. And there's a small table and vanity mirror, and there's a lot more electrical plugs here, including a European, 2 American, and a couple of USB ports. On to the bathroom now. I have to say the bathroom was a little on the small side. It did have everything we needed in terms of tissues and towels and soap. However, it was a little small. We had to get a bit imaginative with using the different layers of shelves in order to store all of our personal things. The shower was nice and spacious. It had these great products in there, which also have the really large font on them so that you can read them without your reading glasses, which I appreciate. A nice rainfall shower adds a touch of luxury, and we both appreciate a glass door on the shower as opposed to a shower curtain. However, there was a shower curtain here on this in front of your storage area. Instead of having a sliding door or cupboards that open, there was a curtain separating everything, which worked well. It was easy to access our things, and it provided a little separation so you didn't have to look at the clutter all the time. But we thought that was a somewhat innovative and clever idea. And of course, there was a safe and lots of drawers. Overall, we thought there was plenty of storage space for us. And here's one of our highlights of the trip was our balcony. It's the first time we've had a balcony in quite a while. We tend to cruise as cheaply as we can on ships, which means usually an inside cabin. But we really love this signature hammock, and it was perfect for lounging, reading, or even taking an afternoon nap. Is definitely one of our favorite features. And we had great unobstructed views in this cabin. As you can see, the lifeboats are well below us. We've got a beautiful view from up here on the 10th deck. I can also recommend the 10th deck because there was nothing above us but cabins and nothing below us but cabins, so we didn't get a lot of noise from crew moving lounge chairs around or nightclubs. Virgin Voyages really surprised us with its vibe. It's unlike any cruise we've been on before. Everything felt more relaxed, almost like a boutique hotel at sea rather than a traditional cruise. No stuffy formal nights or rigid schedules, just a laid-back atmosphere where you could do as much or as little as you wanted. We also noticed there was a really diverse mix of passengers on board. Of course, as an adults-only cruise, there weren't any kids running around, which was especially nice during Christmas. But there were quite a few couples like us, as well as families who brought their older teens, since Virgin allows passengers 18 and older. The entertainment on board was one of the standout features. Virgin didn't go for the typical Broadway-style shows. Instead, they offered more unique and interactive experiences. From edgy live performances to pop-up acts involving the crew, it kept things interesting and unexpected. It really felt like Virgin was trying to break away from the mold. Overall, I'd say the Virgin approach felt refreshing. It didn't feel like we were being herded from one thing to the next. It was more about creating a space where you could connect, relax, and have fun. Perfect for couples like us who want a stress-free getaway. And speaking of the crew, they were so involved in creating the vibe on board, whether it was leading quirky activities or mingling with passengers or putting on their own performances. They added so much personality to the whole experience. It's something we haven't seen much at all on other cruise lines. Let's talk about the sail away party. Virgin Voyages absolutely nailed this one. Unlike other cruise lines we've been on where the sail away party can feel a little bit underwhelming, this party was the real deal. For starters, it was the first sail away we've ever been on after sunset, which completely changed the vibe. With the ship all lit up in the Caribbean night sky as the backdrop, it really felt like stepping into a genuine party. I loved how friendly and relaxed everyone was. It wasn't just about the party itself. It felt like people were genuinely there to connect and enjoy the moment. Next, let's talk a little bit about Christmas. This was a Christmas cruise after all. I can say that Virgin Voyages didn't really go overboard with the Christmas theming. There was some Christmas theming, but most of the Christmas spirit was left up to the passengers. So if you're going on a cruise on Virgin expecting a great big Christmas celebration, you might be disappointed. However, there were a lot of passengers who were dressed up in Christmas themed sweaters and costumes. So if you want to get in the spirit, you certainly can. I'm sure the fact that this was an adults only cruise and there was no children probably played into the decision to not go too far with the Christmas theming. Personally, we were more interested in palm trees than Christmas trees. Now let's talk about dining on board the Valiant Lady. Honestly, we were really surprised by the setup. There's no traditional main dining room and absolutely no buffet. But you know what? Virgin Voyages totally won us over with this approach. Instead of the usual setup, there are 6 unique restaurants on board, each offering a different vibe and menu. This is exactly how we love to dine on ships, restaurant style, where you feel like you're out for a nice meal every night. And the best part, it's all included in the cruise fare, which felt like such a treat. The quality of the food and service was outstanding. Every meal felt like it had been carefully crafted with attention to detail that you don't often find on cruises. There were creative appetizers, beautifully plated mains, indulgent desserts. We were genuinely impressed. You're allowed to book each restaurant once during the cruise, which we actually found really fair. It gave everyone the chance to enjoy the variety, and we'd recommend getting those reservations early so you don't miss out. One thing that really impressed us was how easy it was to plan ahead using the Virgin Voyages app. You can actually start booking your dining reservations 45 days before your cruise departure date. Perfect if you know which restaurants you're most excited to try. And if you're traveling VIP style and Rockstar or Mega Rockstar Suites, you can even get more of a head start with bookings opening up to 60 days in advance. Now, it's hard to pick a favorite restaurant from all the great restaurants on board the Valiant Lady. We did love Pink Agave, the Mexican restaurant. We actually managed to dine there twice, once through a booking and another night we walked in and ended up sitting at the bar. That was a really cool experience, dealing directly with the bartenders. I think we may have enjoyed that experience even more. We also really loved Extra Virgin, the Italian restaurant on board. It had a very contemporary, modern feel. The food was really, really good. Great pasta and other types of Italian dishes and steak. And the staff were fantastic. Really warm hospitality. Now, Test Kitchen was definitely one of the more unique dining experiences on board, and our feelings about it are a little mixed. Some of the dishes we tried were really excellent, creative, well executed, and really flavorful, but others leaned a little towards the gimmicky side, focusing on presentation rather than taste. And what we realized is that the quality of service plays a big role when you dine at Test Kitchen. Some of the servers were really engaged, brought energy and fun to the experience, making molecular cooking feel really exciting. Others, though, seemed a little less involved, more like they were just going through the motions, and that had a big impact, I think, on how enjoyable the meal felt overall, depending on who your server was. Having said that, we really did enjoy Test Kitchen. It's a beautiful space. It's very new and innovative, and the food was good, so we do recommend you give it a try. Another restaurant we really enjoyed was The Wake, which is at the aft of the ship. The Wake was such a standout for us that we ended up dining there multiple times. We had brunch here twice, once at the beginning of the cruise and then again on disembarkation day. Having the ability to book brunch on disembarkation day, we thought was a really cool thing that we've never experienced on any other cruise ship. And at dinner, The Wake was a steak and seafood house, and we had a really excellent meal here for dinner as well. We can really recommend The Wake as a great place to eat on the Valiant Lady. Now, I mentioned earlier there is no buffet on board the Valiant Lady. However, there is the galley. Now, the galley is Virgin Voyages' answer to the traditional cruise buffet, but it's definitely not a typical buffet setup. Think of it more like a super stylish food court, the kind you'd find in a high-end shopping center, but a lot cleaner and with way more variety. The seating area is open and modern with lots of seating and great sea views. In the galley, you'll find food stands offering a little bit of everything. They had burgers, salads, noodles, panini sandwiches, tacos. They had a ramen, which was a great option if you're craving something warm and flavorful. The burgers were a real standout, surprisingly good, and definitely worth trying if you're a fan of a classic juicy burger. And for breakfast, I absolutely loved the Eggs Benedict. It was perfectly prepared, a really nice way to start the day. The 24-hour American Diner deserves a special mention too. They whip up a great breakfast, making it an easy go-to spot when you're looking for for something comforting to stick your day off, and how handy that this thing is open 24 hours a day. Razzle Dazzle is definitely a restaurant that sparks a strong reaction. You'll probably either love it or hate it. The decor is eye-catching to say the least, slightly alarming perhaps, which is probably the point of it. Maybe I'm just too old to appreciate its bold, quirky style, but it didn't quite hit the mark for us. We did try breakfast here on our first morning on the ship, and based on that, we decided to cancel our dinner reservations we had booked later in the week. Honestly, we're not quite sure how to describe it. The food is all about being different. Every dish has a twist, and there are plenty of vegetarian and vegan options, which is great if that's what you want. But overall, for us, it just didn't have the appeal. As an example, this bacon that we ordered as a side dish was candied with pepper. It was very chewy and very, very sweet. Lord, I really just wanted some bacon. Now, lots of people seem to really be enjoying Razzle Dazzle, so to each their own. And after hearing a lot about it, we finally got to visit Vigin Voyages private club, Bimini Beach Club. There was a shuttle to take us from the ship to the beach club. However, we decided to walk as it was a beautiful day and we needed exercise, and it was only about a 25-minute walk. So the beach club is essentially a large stretch of beach with a couple of pools, lots of beach loungers, some bars, and a place where they prepare lunch for you. And you can pay for all the drinks using your bar tab from the ship, and the lunch is provided free of charge. And it was easy to get a drink, and the food was pretty good in the restaurant. It was all served outside. There was a lot of flies buzzing around, but they had these little fans on the table to kind of try to scare them away. And the food was fairly simple, but tasty. Now, the Bimini Beach Club has two pools with really different vibes, so it's easy to find the atmosphere that works for you. The far pool was buzzing with energy. There was a lot of pool toys. There was a DJ. It was noisy, fun, packed with the cruisers enjoying a lively scene. The near pool offered a much calmer, quieter space. It felt more relaxed. We weren't really in the mood for a party, so we decided to retreat to the beach chairs near the Rockstar area. It was nice and quiet over there, but still close enough to the bar we could grab a drink whenever we wanted, and it was a good spot to unwind without being too far removed from the action. It was a nice, relaxing day, and the view of the turquoise water, it was absolutely beautiful. Rockstar Retreat, which is a private area of the beach only for Rockstar guests, which is the premium experience on Vigin Voyages. There were people trying to sneak in there even though they didn't have the right wristband. That's how they will identify you, whether you're supposed to be there or not. So those people were escorted out just in case you're thinking about trying to upgrade yourself while you're there. Let's talk a little bit about the design and layout of the Valiant Lady. Vigin Voyages set out to break the mold of traditional cruising, and they definitely succeeded in creating something very different. The ship has a very modern look with Virgin's signature bold red color featured everywhere. It's striking and unique, but we did find areas where it felt a bit overdone. For instance, some outdoor walkways felt enclosed with a lot of red surrounding you. Mostly, we found the layout easy to navigate, which was great. One thing we missed was a stronger connection to the ocean while on board. For example, some areas like the aft deck are designed without access to look over the railing and fully take in the sea views. It's a bit of a missed opportunity on a cruise where the ocean plays such an important role. For much the same reason, we didn't care for the pool. It felt like it was at the bottom of a well. I really liked the bed loungers that are set up around it, but as you can see, there really isn't any connection to the sea here at all. The great surprises on this ship for me was the amazing coffee I got every morning at Intelligentsia Coffee. We were also surprised how much we loved the wristbands. They work as your room card key and also for onboard purchases. Super easy to use, and it was nice not to have to remember your room card each time you left your cabin. We really enjoyed our Vigin Voyages cruise on the Valiant Lady, and we are definitely going to be returning in the near future. And we do love to hear from you guys, so please let us know in the comments if you've cruised on Vigin. How do you feel about not having a main dining room or buffet? And if you like this video, please do give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more content from us. We do really enjoy going on cruises and making these videos and sharing our experience with you, so subscribing would really help us. If you're interested in seeing how this Vigin experience compares to a more traditional ship like Norwegian Cruise Lines, check out this video which details our experience on the Norwegian Prima. Thanks for watching.